Hi, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of KWC. It is Kopi with Chris. And before I introduce my Kopi Kaki today, I have to do my due diligence because these people are really, really, really great guys. Every single week they feed me, they feed my Kopi Kakis, and they give us great coffee. So we'd like to say thank you to, appropriately named to, Kaki. And they're located at Ang Mo Kio Hub, 53 Ang Mo Kio Avenue 3, Basement 1, Units 51B and C. Mwah! Thank you so much, Kaki. Look at that spread, man. That's an amazing spread.
It looks awesome.
And let's have a shot first.
Cheers,
Cheers, mate. Cheers. Let me reach over. Okay, cheers. And today, I have sugar in my coffee.
Oh,
That's unusual, but never mind. It tastes even better. I'm going to get stuck on this thing. And you know, my guest with me, my Kopi Kaki, he is one half of SPH's Kiss 92, Maddie and Divian in the morning. And we have Maddie!
hair's a bit shorter than you would expect. And also a bit flatter here, but I'll make do.
Don't make me go further than that, man. Maddie, you flatter than Maddie.
I think I would be flatter than Maddie. It's a compliment to Maddie,
I
by
would
the
have
way.
thought it's the other way around. She's gonna kill me, right? She's gonna kill me.
kill both
She's
of
gonna
us, mate.
kill. No, she will kill me more. But no, that's not Maddie. That's Divian Nair. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
very
being
much,
with
Chris.
me.
Lovely being here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
No, it's gracious of you
Yeah.
to be with me, really. I mean, it's not often I've got someone like you with me. You know, a radio
Except for Glenn
personality.
and FD and the rest and the Hosanna and
yeah. Okay, there you go. Chris is bullshitting again. You're not buying my BS, huh?
I'm trying to be a good guest.
Well, anyway, I am happy really to have you here. And this is what we do when we have our Kopi Kakis on. To start the show,
Yeah.
we would leave it to our guest to tell everyone what you're all about, who
Cool.
you are.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave this to you right now.
do
Mike's yours, man, as usual. Here we go.
Thank you. Yeah. So hi, I'm Divian. I'm actually 33 this year. I've been on stage, I think, almost all my life from kindergarten onwards, whether it was stage plays, musicals, hosting live TV shows and such. And now I host the morning show on SPH on Kiss 92. I also run a creative agency. It's called Storyteller Productions.
Busy guy.
Yeah, we have a little Facebook page going. It's called We Are Majula. We do a lot of community work and a lot of civil service related stuff. And we help disseminate policy as well. And on top of that, I'm also on the board of the National Youth Council.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's fun day every day.
See, life's not fair, Who said God's fair, man? You got a young guy, vivacious, good-looking, great voice, has a dream job that I wish to God I have, run his own business,
Yeah.
and do all the wonderful patriotic, nationalistic stuff, and busy with, and also I'm sitting on the board as well. Jeez. Take over my show, mate. I'm going to quit right now.
Man, it comes at a cost. It comes at a cost. A lot of hair dye at home, to keep this
No,
black.
come on, man.
Seriously, I'm white from here to here, all the way back.
Oh, that's distinguished. That's distinguished. Well, I wear a cap more often than not on this show.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean I have white hair, because I don't. Ha ha. But anyway, okay, so you do all that. You're so darn busy.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you manage, man?
A lot of it is learning how to, and this is very cliche, but to compartmentalize. Like, especially the way you think about things. And I'm one of those people that has trouble with stopping thinking. I can't stop. So I have trouble sleeping every single night because there are problems left, right, center from this part or this pitch or this project that's going on. And I have like tiny little rituals that I keep in mind to just segment the day. Because it's so important to breathe. It's so important, I think, to be present. And it's one of the things I've struggled with, just being present, being here, and not constantly living in the past and the future. So that's a little bit about how I do it.
You know something? It's so funny what you just said. It reminds me of a person I know really, really well, especially between the ages of 37 to 40, And that person also had the same issue. Thinking about the past, thinking about the future, don't know how to live in the present, compartmentalizing your time, boxing it in so that you can manage it. and then having trouble sleeping because your brain just cannot stop working.
Can't stop, yeah.
Yeah, that was Chris Henson.
Back then.
Yeah,
Well, I'm looking at my future self now, I guess, and I guess I have no complaints. So keep going, Divian.
No, mate. I mean, thank you so very much. Yeah, man. I'm not buying that bullshit too, but I'm still a little bit of that. Well, you're young. You can push it.
Yeah.
Do it. It's gratifying.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm glad you said what you did because made me reminisce.
It's true, man. Yeah.
Made me reminisce. It's cool. It's cool. Really, it is. How do you start in radio?
So funny story. I was in a workshop arts and design company. So basically, they did a lot of staging for events back when I was in I think still in JC. So still about 17, 18 of
There was a private company.
Yeah, it was just a private company. I was looking for a part-time job. I actually couldn't find a slot at Long John Silver's. So I went out to apply. So they said, okay, if you don't mind sitting in the back of the lorry, with Asing, which was really his name, Asing, right?
Which company is this, may I ask?
It was literally called Workshop Arts and Design. Okay. They were at Tagore Lane, by the way. And so I joined the company. They had good overtime rates, and we used to work, all the way through the night, fixing up electrical equipment, putting staging, hacking things down after events.
Fun,
One day, yeah. It was some of the best time of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. Wind blowing in the hair at the back of the lorry.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And so one day, somebody from this events company said, hey, sorry, boy, can you just go and try the mic? So I went, testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I got a call back 2 days later and said, my MC is sick today. Can you come down and just do a few announcements? And this was for the inaugural breakdancing championships, I think way back in 2005 or 2006.
Yeah, that wasn't way back. Like for me, it was quite recent. Okay.
So I went for it. I completely bombed the show. Right?
Really?
I bombed. I sucked ass. So much ass. But the boss of Heron, and I did the show at Heron back then when it was still alive, right?
Right.
She said, no, I like your attitude. Can you come back tomorrow? I'm going to coach you. So she came down in the morning, had Kopi with me, sat me through and said, don't worry about this. I've been here. I've done that. You do this way. And she coached me.
You want to give this person some credit on the show?
I would love to, but for the life of me, I
can't remember. Oh, bloody hell.
It's the story of life, right? And so I went on from one event to the next, getting recommendations. And I did a lot of youth events. And on one fateful event, I actually met Ross from Shannon Ross, way back when.
Okay.
And she said, hey, I think you should come on and try for 987. I went for one audition, boom, I was on Morning Show with Vanessa Fernandez the next week. And that's how I got on radio.
Life is so unfair, man.
Just chance. I was just lucky.
Good for you, but unfair for me. Okay. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then that's how you started on the radio.
And and it really set, I think, a tone for my personal philosophy in life.
So you were in 987.
I was in 987, yeah.
And after that, for how long were you in 987?
For about 4.5, coming to 5 years.
And what happened after that?
So afterwards, after I left 987, I came out, I did a travel show for StarHub.
Okay.
Actually 2 seasons. And then I did travel documentaries for CNA. Mm-hmm. So it got me to Ukraine, to Estonia. I explored cybersecurity. I met the president of Estonia.
I hate you.
And I came back after all that jazz from Africa and then basically every continent in the world.
I hate you more.
And then my company took off.
Okay.
Yeah, so we started running with that. We started doing a lot of projects. We launched the whole We Are Majula initiative. And through that, SPH called one day and said they needed a job for 1FM.
Okay.
And so I joined 1FM. I was there for about 2 years. And then I got pushed up to Kiss 92 when Arnold left.
Right. So there was a gap for radio of a couple of years.
Yes, for a couple of years.
Right. Okay. So now that you're a radio DJ again, and having had experience for a while, and that people, idiots like me,
Can I take a sandwich? Okay.
Whack the fella. Don't worry about it, man. Don't makan.
Oh.
I mean, don't worry. You will eat more politely than KFC told it, so it's cool. Now that people like me, podcasters, I realize, especially during this period, with the circuit breaker, the pandemic going on. Take your time. You can answer after you. Just don't choke on your sandwich. It's a great sandwich, by the way.
Really good stuff, by the way. Thank you very much.
There we go. Thank you, Kaki, again. And lots of podcast shows have been emerging. Not that they weren't there before, but more and more are coming up. People like me.
Yeah.
And how do you, as a radio DJ, view this?
So, what's really interesting was the first podcast I ever heard was from Don and Drew.
Okay.
Way back when.
Okay.
And at that time, podcasts were actually huge. And that I graduated into listening to Ricky Gervais and gang
Okay.
with Carl Pilkington and such. And I always thought, wow, can you imagine, a space that's got a broader fence, so to speak? Because podcasts have this air of freedom, this air of honesty. And you didn't have to worry about IMDA on your back, harping down, like, did you say this? You can't say fuck, you can't say any. Oh, it feels so good to say that, you don't know?
With a microphone in front of you saying that, right?
With a microphone, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So I mean, I've always looked at podcasts as a place where you get real content, real stuff.
And compared to what you're doing now, how do you feel?
About podcasts?
Yeah.
I think I have a little bit of envy, actually. I mean, it's only natural, right? You go to work all day and then you're so tightly bound. You've got promotions to run, games to run, you've got content to get through, and you have to deliver it as a role, right? Because you have to fit into the team. There's a role. So it's not as free as I think this space where I am right now. I feel very comfortable now.
You feel good here?
I feel good here, yeah.
Stay in radio, yeah? I don't need another competitor. Speaking competition.
Yeah.
Do you think people like us, people like me, do you think we're competition?
Wow, I don't think so. I think that the landscape has evolved so quickly over the last couple of years with the way everything on social media has bloomed. I think there's so much space for collaboration, and I think it's collaboration that will move the world forward. People have been saying it for ages, but I don't think Singapore is caught up yet, especially in the media industry. And I think that with more entities coming out, like yourself, like other podcasts, there is so much space to grow.
Okay, I'm glad you said that. But, as you also said, that you've been very polite about that. The media industry has yet to catch up with it.
Yeah.
Because let's take a look at the main broadcasters we've got here in Singapore.
Yeah.
The one that you with, especially, also counted in, as one of the two. I mean, do you really think that they'll ever want to collaborate with someone like me?
So I'm not management, and I can't speak for them.
Exactly.
But if I was, given my experience with the work that I do with my company, with Storyteller and all that, I would say yes. I would say that it is definitely the only way to move forward.
But wouldn't they want someone like you, for instance, to start your own podcast show under their umbrella rather than collaborate with someone independent like myself?
In fact, it's funny you mentioned that. They're already doing that. They're already seeding
Unsurprised.
podcast segments.
Unsurprised.
The jocks have to do them, and it's a business entity, right? So they want to definitely create different streams of income.
Exactly. So it's unsurprising.
Yeah.
Because why would they want to collaborate with someone like me when they can have their own talents to start doing it, right? So therefore, don't you think we're competition?
Actually, no, I still don't, because it's all about making money. It's a business. Ultimately, at the end of the day, behind my chair, behind my boss's chair, there is a decision-making process that's all about profit, right?
Yeah.
And it's about expanding the platform, expanding the audience base so that advertisers have more eyes on them and more profit. And I still think that if they don't view other platforms as competition and they integrate and they collaborate, I think everybody wins.
Yeah, I agree with you. Don't get me the wrong way, man, because I am for collaboration.
Yeah.
Naturally, and I completely understand as a business person.
Yeah.
I completely can appreciate also the need to have profitability, having increasing your revenue stream.
Yes.
I mean, of course. But therefore, the hope of any collaboration occurring between, and I know you can't answer that question, but this is me just talking.
Yeah.
See, talking cock. So I'm going to talk cock.
Go for it, yeah.
In my mind, I don't see that they ever will. So
why though?
Because, as you rightly also said, they want to make their own money.
Right.
And I think people like me might be too scary for them.
Possibly. I mean, I can't speak for the old guard, but the way media companies have been run in Singapore, I think, have been inflexible, if I can put it that way.
And what happens when it's inflexible? Don't you think things the shows might end up being too contrived?
Yeah, from time to time, I mean, that's a definite risk that they run into all the time, but it's a constant battle between the content creators and the guys in the suits, right?
Yeah.
The content creators are always trying to be more free.
Yeah.
Suits are always trying to package it right for the advertiser.
Yeah.
Yeah, excuse me.
But it's so funny. Now you take a look at people, for example, people like Xia Xie,
Yeah,
and all the influencers out there, they get paid a lot of money
yeah.
for who they are.
Like Naomi, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Walking away with the Lamborghini.
and they talk crap sometimes, but people
Yeah.
pay them for that, right? And those are the same clients
Yeah,
as the mainstream broadcasters.
yeah.
For them,
Yes.
same clients for them. So it's a bit funny, don't you think so?
It is. It's true. It's true. I mean,
Yeah.
with the way everything is shifting, with the way the eyeballs are, positioned
Yeah.
in this day and age, radio is finding more competition.
I think radio is going the way the traditional A&P companies have gone, the big boys,
Possibly.
because they
Yeah.
didn't embrace digital early enough.
That's true.
And right now, most of them are actually lost.
The one thing I have to say about radio, though, is because it's traditional media, because it is so integrated into the infrastructure of the country in terms of every technical aspect for how it's broadcast.
Yeah.
Ultimately, radio has time to catch up.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give you that. So as a national radio broadcaster yourself, you have to be really careful, right?
Yeah, of course.
Because you're heavily regulated.
Vetted, regulated, edited.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
So do you think podcasters like me should have that same level of regulation?
I think it depends, because I think what podcasts can do for a country like Singapore is to really breach that line of honesty that I think has been difficult to see through the fog for a long time. And a lot of it, I think, is to do with our culture.
Right.
Right. The way that we approach, certain like very fundamental issues in Singapore. For example, issues like why does the 70% quota for, Chinese people have to be maintained? People ask this question, they don't know the ins and outs in this question, and they settle on a verdict after they talk to their taxi drivers. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
And as national broadcasters,
Yeah.
right, we're not allowed to talk about race, religion,
Yeah.
sex, politics.
Yeah.
So it's difficult then to have an honest conversation.
Yeah, then you have to leave it to people like me. Because that's what we do.
Yeah.
We do touch on that. But
That's my
you know,
point, yeah.
I just want to assure, just in case Glenn Ong's listening, I just want to assure Glenn, don't worry, Glenn, I'm still a responsible podcaster. Don't we talk about topics like that? We
Yeah.
make sure we don't really stir the pot.
Yeah.
And I really hope some people upstairs
Yes.
are also listening to what I'm saying. Glenn and FD,
Yeah.
both of them actually on one of my episodes on this show, actually said, "Yeah, we think you should be regulated." I disagree, of course, and I
Yeah.
still do.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
strange. It's strange though, right? Because if you look at more mature media,
Yeah.
laced companies like the States, you have political commentary going through comedy, the late night shows, the comedians, the stand up,
Yeah.
and it allows people to really think, delve into the issue, answer them honestly, and decide what's best for themselves.
Yeah.
Right. But I think the problem with this landscape is its immaturity, and I say this by also qualifying that it is nobody's fault.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know why? Only because of the pace the country grew.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because of the disconnect between, the old school kind of thinking and the new people that were born into the internet, into social media.
But don't you think Singapore moved so rapidly?
Yes.
We grew. And I'm very proud of this country. I'm a very proud Singaporean son. Okay? I would just say that we grew, but the people didn't.
Yeah.
In terms of,
As
we
fast.
didn't mature, yes,
Yeah.
you said. We didn't evolve into a more mature society. But then there are segments
Yes.
who do watch shows like mine.
Yes.
And those are basically the young, who are more savvy digitally, right?
Less apathetic.
Yes, less apathetic. And you mentioned something earlier. You said we're too traditional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In some sense.
Yeah. So we need to move along. If you look at Saturday Night Live, if you look at
Yeah.
Stephen Colbert,
Yeah.
Trevor Noah,
Yeah.
And these guys go for it, you know, they really,
really
go
do,
for it.
yeah.
But people make up their own minds. We got to trust that people will have sufficient sense and maturity to just throw away things that don't matter,
Yeah.
or maybe start thinking deeply
Yeah.
on from a different perspective, you know.
Yeah.
And as long as we don't have that, we're just going to be this complaining society.
That's
You
true.
know, and every damn thing you see, you're just
That's
gonna.
true.
And you know who I blame for this? I'm gonna say it, mate.
Go for it.
Stomp. They started this shit.
Yeah, you know, it brings to mind this really funny episode of the news I once saw. This is a small segment. And you know how on Stomp it's rampant with people reporting on other people all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not so much citizen journalism as it is voyeurism sometimes, right? Right?
yes,
And I
yes.
remember this one segment where this guy was looking through the curtain with this huge like telescope or something. and then he was looking through and he's like, hey, you see, I've been standing here for 45 minutes. Look at them. They're naked. You see what they're doing? You see?
Yeah, and
Like
it's
a
voyeurism.
voyeur, right?
Exactly. We on the other show we've talked about this all the time. There's something
Yeah.
wrong with society. I mean, you see the uncle and auntie, they're doing it in the void deck, and then lots of videos and
Yeah.
pictures, and then they post it on Stomp.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with you, dude?
I think the whole surveillance nature of the country also comes because it's so small. It's so tight. It's so well managed, if you want to put it that way, you know? And people are bound to make mistakes. There's always going to be frays and, you know, threads sticking out.
Let's not give people an excuse, okay? The country
I'm
is
just saying,
small.
out
Let's
there in
not
the
give
rest of
them-
the world, they do it in the farm, you know,
yeah,
in the
but
plantations. Yeah, we got the HDB void decks, you know?
Well, yeah, okay, but I still don't want to give people an excuse. You know, it's too damn convenient. I mean, if you're a damn voyeur, just say you're a damn voyeur.
That's
you know
true,
what
that's
I
true,
mean?
yeah.
So how hard do you think it would be to regulate podcasters?
Wow, I think it's going to be, I mean, you can say it's easy on one hand, you know, if you don't want to pay attention to the nuancing in podcasts
Yep.
and you want to slap some fat boundary the way IMDA does when
Yep.
it comes to national broadcasting.
Yep.
But I think what is difficult about regulating podcasters is what the effect will be to the rest of society. Because then how or why should podcasters do what they do?
Yeah.
And that's what I think of it.
Okay. You're now in Kiss 92.
Yeah.
There are so many stations now, and I mean, for all the language stations, music stations,
Yeah.
news stations. Do you think our local radio stations have at any point in time felt threatened by podcasters?
From the perspective of the chair that I sit on at the morning show,
Yeah.
my answer is actually no.
Okay.
I think that people within the industry, especially now, especially during the COVID period, are so caught up with trying to survive because the onslaught first came when people started moving off radio and consuming the main content of music
Right.
from Spotify and YouTube and all these
Yes.
other platforms. That I don't think radio has even considered podcasts yet.
Do you think that's foolish?
I think it is, again,
Not
I
to
qualify.
consider. Not to consider.
Yeah.
No. You see, this is your opinion. You're not
Yes,
answering
yes.
on behalf of your bosses.
No,
man.
no,
Yeah.
not at all. So I think that it is not foolish because of the scale of the problem. Because of the scale of the problem. Because of how much the audience is pulled away from these other music streaming platforms. I think that is of a bigger concern to radio at this juncture.
But podcasts are also in Spotify. This show's
Yeah.
on Spotify. This
Yeah.
show's in iTunes.
Yes.
So,
No, for sure, for sure. And I don't doubt that podcasts will exponentially grow in the next 3 years. For sure. And I think, like we discussed earlier, traditional forms of media with how many layered, structured, tiered management systems
Okay.
will take time to realize.
okay.
And again, I qualify. I don't think it is foolish now for them to not register this, but it would be foolish in 3 years if they saw its incline and still tried to avoid it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's move on from that topic, yeah?
Yeah.
Because I can go on forever about that, you know. I mean, here we have one radio DJ and here we have one podcaster.
I'll be happy until the cows come home. It's Friday anyway.
Actually, you're right, but
Yeah.
but you wake up too early, you know,
That's true.
every
I'll
day.
be gibberish in about 45 minutes.
There you go. So I'm very lucid about that, so don't worry.
you.
We move on now
Yeah.
because we know what you became so famous for especially in recent times.
Yeah.
One question.
Yes.
Will you die for Singapore?
Yeah, that's a very loaded question.
I know.
Yes, my answer is not yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you care to explain? What do you mean?
My answer is that my relationship with my space will need more time to mature. My relationship with this country is still very much in a questioning, trying to configure, trying to figure out what it is, who I am. A lot of the way this project started for me was questions that I had for myself, because I'm mixed.
So am I.
Oh, you are as well. So you understand. I grew up with my Chinese cousins calling me the Indian one, my Indian cousins calling me the Chinese one.
Okay.
And it left me, in a strange place as I went through life. I almost feel like for the majority of my life, even though I'm half and half, I've never been allowed to be Chinese because of the way I look.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's an interesting dynamic, and a lot of questions stem from that part of me, the identity part. How do I interface? What does this country mean to me? What does this happen? And I try to solve that question by participating.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's my journey.
So what has race, being mixed, got to do with you and your nation?
Yeah. Everything. It's the way you interface, from the way people see you to the way people treat you to the problems that you encounter. And I've encountered many issues.
Okay, I'm trying to reconcile with what you've
Yes.
said. I'm trying to reconcile this because I'm mixed.
Yes.
Maybe I don't have much of an experience like, I maybe don't share the same kind of experience you've had.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I mean, I'm a guy, people say, you look Chinese, but you got a funny name. I can go into my own association and they go, ugh,
Yeah.
and I don't feel belonged, sure. But I tell you something, man.
Yeah.
If you ask me that same question,
Yeah.
what do you think my answer is going to be? You're 33, I'm
Yes.
50.
I think you would have a resounding yes.
Yes. Why do you think that's the case?
I think, again, time.
Time. I had the time to think about this, to feel about it.
The time to go through life and answer your own questions. I think that's what it is.
Wow, you're so deep, dude.
I mean, I'm just trying to...
You're so deep. Maybe I'm just this platonic,
No, not at all. And I tell you why.
Yeah.
It has a lot to do with the challenges that I had.
Okay.
Right? So I went to a SAP school, Catholic High, in secondary school. So I was one of the only 2 brown people in the school. And for 4 years of my life, I was the butt of every Indian joke, every dark-skinned joke, every shit in the bucket joke. Oh, what's the difference between an Indian family and this picture of shit in the bucket? The bucket. That was my life growing up. And I ended up being very angry. I mean, kids are kids.
Kids
right?
are freaking mean, yes.
Yeah, they're cruel. But I never blamed them.
Yeah.
But I was very, very hurt for a long time. And as I went through jobs, especially in frontline industry, especially with auditions, I was told constantly, Divian, I'm sorry, you're not Pan-Asian enough. Everything else is great.
Oh, yeah.
Everything else is great, but you don't look Pan-Asian enough.
Sucks, right?
And I'd be right next there to this other guy, and this Malay guy would tell me, Divian, don't kid yourself. Like, have you ever seen a Malay guy on a condo ad?
That sucks, yeah.
So this is the process I went through, which made it very difficult for me to understand my space.
So do you think this is systemic racism?
I think it's inevitable with people being clannish. It's inevitable, but I think Singapore has managed it better than any other country in the world.
Sure, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But then again...
Everyone.
As long as you're not an ethnic minority,
Yeah.
or I don't even know how to call us, because we're mixed.
Yeah, we're mixed.
So
We're
are we
ultra
partly-
minorities?
I don't know, man. That what you're saying is that impacts your sense of nationalism.
It certainly does. It certainly does. When you go through life and you feel like, who's fighting for me?
But I never looked at it that way, young man.
Yes, sir.
I've never looked at it that way.
Yeah.
Even from the time I was 19 or 20, I never looked at it that way. What's always been in my head, in my heart, was that family.
Yeah, family for sure.
Family, mom. At a time when I was young, in NS,
Yeah.
mom, my sister, my friends.
Yeah.
Now, if you ask me again, and I said this to my missus not long ago. I mean, long ago, because I've ROD'd for a very long time already.
Yes.
My goodness, actually happened. And she was with me, I think, when we got married, she went through only 2 in camps before I actually left and ROD'd. And I kept all my stuff, my full pack, even my full pack items, my helmet, my webbing under my storage bed. You know why? Because I keep telling her, look, if anything happens, I can still reach for them.
Yes.
But you're done. I said, no, I'm not done.
Yeah.
I'm not done till I get the letter that says I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, you are OD'd, but you're still in MINDEF reserve till 40, unless you're an officer, you're 50, right?
Yeah.
My goodness, those officers, poor guys, man. Okay, so I'm not an officer. Smarter, yeah. But I was serious about this. I told her when I eventually got the letter from MINDEF telling me, thank you for your service. We no longer need you.
Yeah.
You're not even in the reserve.
Yes.
Right, you're out.
Yeah.
And she said, can you throw away your uniform? Well, to appease her, how wives can be, get rid of all this stuff. We can make more space for, and all.
Yes.
And I mean, it's normal. So, okay, I got rid of most of it, but I kept my full pack. I kept my helmet. I kept my webbing and one set of uniform. And then she asked me, why do you do that? Look, if the button ever is pressed, you think I'm going to just rely on these young, snot-faced soldiers?
Exactly, yeah.
With all wearing glasses.
Exactly.
Without, growing up in their generation, growing up with complete non-aggression, because the moment 2 boys get into a fight, the school will call the cops.
Yeah.
No, in my day, you get a slap on the wrist and you get suspended for 2 days, you get suspended for 3 days. But no, we call the cops. Lack of aggression, nothing. When we need it, it's not going to be there. But guys like me have it. We may not be as fit, but we can definitely put up a fight.
For sure.
I will still go back and fight. And I've always had that in me.
Yeah.
And I'm not alone, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a question of spending years until you get older, then you decide whether or not you would. I think it's a question of difference in generation.
Possibly, yeah. I think when it comes to, let's say we go back to the situation of race.
Yeah.
And the graduation of how the issue has evolved over the years. In my grandparents' time, it was not racist to not stab each other in the neck.
Okay, yeah.
And then in my parents' time, it was not racist to not complain about your coworker as you're sitting beside.
Okay.
And then these days, it's racist if you even say a joke. The sensitivity have changed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But conversely, what I also feel is different is that the way we sometimes get trapped in these fences that we build are also slightly different.
That's the thing. I have a bunch of friends.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of fun. They're much younger, most of them. I'm the second oldest in the whole group. And I always enjoy my time with them. They're my friends in the gym.
Yes.
And we're a myriad worth of races, And wonderfully enough, we've got young people, real young people, the 22, 23-year-olds up to the 30-year-olds, to the 40-year-old, and me. Yeah. And then, but we poke fun,
Yeah.
Like one guy he's an Indian Malay mix.
Yeah.
Right? His dad's Indian, mom's Malay. So on his IC, he's Indian, right? So sometimes he will go, hey, that one is Indian power. But sometimes, for some other thing, that one is Malay power. I say, wow, you damn good, you are.
Yes.
You got everything in you.
It's true.
Yeah, but we laugh about it.
Yeah.
We laugh at each other, yes.
Yes.
But we don't insult them. It's not disrespectful, but we're just having a good time.
Yes.
And everybody learns how to be self-effacing.
Yes.
Yeah? Even me.
But here's the one issue that I took up with it. And I actually did a whole project about this, about the nuancing of racial jokes.
Okay.
And I understand that, in a very close, very trusting setting, of course, you assume that the other person is not intending to hurt you.
Yeah.
It's when that circle phrase and the lines become a bit blur, and suddenly somebody you don't really know is also taking the same liberties with you. That's where the issue occurs.
Yeah.
So what I think is, because of the racial mix and proportion of this country, if you are a minority, right, and you hear a joke that's targeted to you, you will receive it at a different rate and different proportion.
Different frequency.
Different frequency to the majority. How many Chinese racist jokes do you know compared to how many Malay and Indian racist jokes do you know?
Have lah. But not a lot.
But not a lot. And that's my point. But if you go to America, the tables are turned.
I think the ethnic majority we have here
Yeah.
will never, ever be able to understand how the ethnic minority feels.
And I'm glad you put it that way, because it's really not about the race. It's just about majorities and minorities all around the world. Yeah.
And then they boil it down to, hey, don't be so sensitive lah.
Exactly.
But that's not the point lah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you're a bunch of friends, you know, like a bunch of friends I've got, you know, and we know there's no malice involved.
Exactly.
We laugh at each other.
It's a trust thing.
And we laugh with each other, you know, and we laugh at ourselves.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That was a Singapore I remember.
Yes.
When we were able to laugh at PCK when they were allowed to go full Monty on the Singlish until they were stopped.
But you know why I think it's different now? Because of the way our, affluence has progressed. I think back then when socioeconomics was still compressed and people were still relatively closer to each other in the spectrum, I think it was easier to laugh at each other.
I think it's a sense of elitism.
That's exactly what I mean. Now,
price of progress.
Yeah, because with a racial majority, right, you're looking at more bosses of a certain race naturally being inclined to hire, employees of a certain race. And that gives opportunity.
Yeah. And it sucks. When I really hope production houses, you got one too, producers, when they cast for talents, forget about this Pan-Asian thing, forget about this race thing. Look at the person's ability. One of my shows, a couple of episodes ago, with two sisters, the White sisters, they were talking about this. And they felt that it's wrong because it's about ability. It's not about race. It's not about age.
I wish.
Yeah, I know. But it sucks, doesn't it?
I wish.
Yeah, I know.
I think if that ideal proved true, a lot of people would be happier.
Yeah. I know. But fuck that. It's not going to change.
Yeah. It'll take some time. Yeah.
So do you think that Singaporeans don't feel nationalistic enough to die for their country or feel some sort of bond with Singapore?
Yeah. Again, this is to me so interlinked with socioeconomics, with the speed the country progressed and how comfortable people became.
Yeah.
It's not the same. If you ask my dad, he'll give you a resounding yes for sure because of what he had to go through.
Yeah.
Compared to me, I say I'm thinking about it because my life has been, I have so much more comfort afforded to me, right? And I think for the further generation as well, to them it's like, what, die? What do you mean? Why not just leave?
Yeah.
And it becomes harder and harder to reach that resounding yes. It becomes harder and harder to really find the reasons.
I'll be honest with you, I get freaking angry when I hear some young person say that shit, I get angry.
And that's why I think the work that I do is so important. It's about opening up these channels of conversation, having people really understand that they don't exist as silos. Their entire existence, all their comfort is dependent on this environment. And that's what you're fighting to protect.
And our community. Yeah. We didn't grow on our own,
No way.
We all seem to think that, we did this, I did this. If not, it's just my family and I, me, bullshit.
Yeah.
So, assuming, hypothetically, if let's say right now, the button is pressed, what would you do?
I'll go for it, man. I'll go.
Give me a freaking fist bump, brother.
For sure. No, I'll go for it. So the thing is, I've tried to involve myself. So I'm not the kind of guy who just talks shit, right? I try to do the work. I signed up to be on the board of a court, which is the Council for Community Relations and Defense with MINDEF and Nexus for 3 years, so I could understand the scope of things. I volunteered to be in the Joint Intelligence Directive in the Army for reservists so that I could be involved. And it's only through doing, working, collaborating, and understanding that I evolved this sense of why.
But then you, as you said, that there are soldiers, young people out there who are soldiers or even in the reserve, NS men.
Yeah.
When the button is pressed, they'd rather just leave.
Yeah, I'm sure they think about it. Yeah.
So what do you think? Do you think the whole point of national service is lost?
I think, first of all, national service is an ideal because we're not a warring nation.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, we're not Sparta.
Yeah, we're not smarter. We're not antagonistic by nature either. But I think it is the only platform we can afford for them to actually build up to that decision. If you can't convince them here first, at least teach them how to do it first.
Yeah.
And I think Singaporeans do have the propensity to rally together once there's a common enemy.
Yes.
Yeah. There is a chance that there's a spark and they all flip and they go batshit crazy.
Do you think
we take care of business?
Okay, common enemy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm picking up on key phrases you're using, man. I mean, common enemy. We have one now.
Where are you going with this, Chris?
COVID-19.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I mean, wait, come on.
Point at something with a flag.
Where do you think I was going with this, man? I mean, fuck, I'm wondering, like, what you thinking? What are you thinking?
Okay.
Common enemy, COVID-19,
COVID-19,
right? Yeah. Okay. How do you think we've been faring as a people?
I think, I think just yesterday I got the gov.sg update again. 0 community cases for the second time this week.
Yeah.
So I'd say, well, man, like my mom is frontline.
Yeah.
She was a nurse. She had to stay away from the family for weeks.
Okay.
With full protective order and gear. And she was slogging away. She volunteered for the shift. I've got friends who are doctors who stay in the basement of the hospitals. As long as we've got people like that, I think we're doing a fucking hell of a job.
Let me clarify my question again.
Yeah.
As a people, outside of the obvious,
As a people, so the regular people.
the community,
Okay.
yeah?
Yeah.
Not on a whole,
Yes.
the community, the regular dudes in the buses, on the
Yes.
road, in the streets, in the HDB flats, not the frontliners, not the interministerial task force,
Okay.
not these guys.
Yeah.
The people.
How are they doing?
How do you think? Do you think we stood together?
Let me turn the question back around, okay?
Oh, God.
How many people do you really see walking around without a mask on?
Good point.
I rest my case. It's the compliance between the people and the government that solves the problem.
So based on this common enemy we've got right now and how people have been facing up to it, to the fight,
Yes.
you really believe that should a button be pressed and we
Yes.
have to go to war, that we will stand together just as we have done now
My
or
answer
doing
is
now?
I don't know, but I'll bet on it.
Okay.
I bet on it, man.
You and I, we can have more coffee together, man. Now I'm going to move out of that topic now.
Okay.
I'm going to go to something else.
Yeah.
You had a show.
Yes.
It was called Double D.
Oh, it's going
I
there.
mean, when I hear
Sure.
Double D, I always think about the cups, but that's not
Pun
the-
intended.
I'm pretty sure the pun was damn
of course,
intended.
Yeah.
You had a co-host,
Yes.
D. Kosh.
Yes, Daryl Ian Koshi.
Yeah. You're still in touch with him.
So the last text that I sent him, I said, man, however this situation turns out, at the end of it, if you need to call someone, you can call me. Yeah. And
That's a
he
friend.
replied, thanks, Div. That's it. And that's the last.
That's a friend. That's
Yeah.
being a friend.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about what he did?
I'm very clear about that position. When I was working with him, in no way, shape, or form did
Yep.
any of that behavior express. He was extremely talented.
So you were taken by surprise.
I was shocked. Yeah, for sure, I was shocked. I mean, I don't think I was so shocked at the fact that he lived an alternative lifestyle, but I was shocked that he was so careless about the way he treated some of these people. Because it's very simple for me. If I put myself in a position of a parent and my 15-year-old is talking to someone who's above 30,
Right.
trying to accost him, baiting him with cash, it's clearly wrong. That's, to me, is not even a debate.
Okay.
Yeah. But as a friend, I also have no complication with the fact that whatever he has to do to correct himself, to suffer any recourse for his actions, whatever he has to do, he will do. And at the end of the road, I'll be there.
Yeah, good guy, man.
I mean, that's what friends do, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Even if I have to go and see you through the...
33-year-old with an old soul. Excellent.
Yeah.
Your mom and dad did a great job, man.
Thank you. My
Send
wife
them
calls
my-
me an ape, so I don't...
No, tell her.
Yeah.
That's the kind of man a good woman ought to always marry. Okay?
You tell her. I'll buy you another copy for that.
Show her this show. I have said that to your husband for you to hear.
Yeah, you hear that, Rachel?
Her name's Rachel. Hey,
Rachel,
Rachel,
yeah.
I meant what I said, yeah? Because my wife's very lucky too. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
back to radio DJ.
Yeah, man.
You know, I asked this question. I've had all kinds of people on my show.
Yes.
I've celebrities. I've had musicians. I've had a tattoo artist, club DJ, even a glamour model. You know, and I asked this question, and I'd like to ask you this: what would your advice be to a young person who wants to be a radio DJ?
Wow. I think the traditional definition stems from the fact that you need to have a voice. Mm-hmm. Right?
Really? Is that still a need today?
That's my point. I think today, it is not as important because of
That's
the many...
the problem. Okay. I'm sorry, man, but I've noticed this it's been deteriorating over the last couple of years.
It's true. But I still wager that, both of us would enjoy a podcast or a radio show with Chris Rock. And he doesn't have, the most smooth voice.
But you got to understand, man, Chris Rock is a different...
Because of his personality.
Yeah, the basis of...
Yes.
Come
so
on.
why deny somebody else?
He's a comedian, right?
Why deny somebody else with equal ability?
Yeah, if he's
Just
a
because of his
comedian,
voice.
I understand.
Yeah.
But if it's going to be a straight up
radio,
radio
then if you don't have the
broadcast
personality,
DJ,
then no, of course not. Yeah,
and at least you got to have the tone.
That's true,
Right? And it's been deteriorating over the last decade. I'm saying it, man. I don't give a flying fuck about that. I'm saying it.
Maybe it only points to the fact that radio doesn't pay enough, you know?
What's that got to do with voice?
Everything. If radio paid enough, the guy with the voice would decide, you know what, maybe that's a career path and I shouldn't go and sit down in a desk and slog away for another $3,000
Okay, let me qualify this just
Okay.
in case I'm going to get flack from quite a number of my friends from radio.
Yeah.
I'm not saying everyone.
Yeah.
But, it's just getting... the standard's just been dropping in terms of tonality, tone quality.
Okay.
I'm not going to mention names. It doesn't mean they're bad people. Doesn't mean
Right.
they're nasty people. No, of course not. It's not their fault, right?
Yeah.
But I've noticed that.
Yeah.
I've noticed tone quality has been dropping. And I'm old school. I mean,
Yes.
I come from a time where when we listen to the radio and people like me that we look up to.
Yeah.
It's like, wow,
You
check
put
out
it
that
on,
voice,
it's just
man.
velvet through your ears.
Exactly.
It's
you
coming
know?
in.
Yeah, there's so much resonance in the tone. The tone color is amazing.
Yep.
And you just go, wow, I just want to listen to radio all day. Even if the guy just keeps talking, no music, you just want it. You know?
Fundamentally, right? Because it's the medium. I understand. Yeah.
So, but you were saying to tell a young person, first you must have tone.
First, you must have personality. That's my stand.
Okay, sure. Personality.
First, you must have personality. And then tone gives you a competitive edge, is what I'll say.
Damn sad.
Yeah.
Because to me, tone first, then personality. Because personality gives you the edge. Tone is supposed to be there.
I think, I think that mentality has broadened because of social media. I think without social media, I would probably hold the same tune as you. But because of social media, because people have been interfacing with many varied a face, many varied a talent, that the elements for presentation, right, have really lost weight in terms of the share that they have. Now radio DJs are not just radio DJs. You know them through Instagram. You know how all of them look. You see them on video content. Do you know what I mean? So
I do.
So that's why I'm saying tone has taken a reduced edge.
Have you ever watched this show on Netflix? It's called I Don't Belong in This Fucking World Anymore.
No, I haven't. I've heard a lot about it, though. I haven't seen it.
Well, I feel somewhat like that, I mean, look, guilty is charged. My shows go on social feeds as well, But one thing I am a traditionalist about.
Yes.
Don't ask me to evolve because it's called values.
I understand.
Grammar and language must remain as proper as possible. No,
Yeah.
I'm not, because my language is colorful. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the command of the language.
Okay.
You got to at least have that.
But
a
Chris,
lot of people don't care about that shit anymore.
do you think that it is integral to communication to have tone, language ability?
Of course.
Okay, can I point you to an example that changed my view of this? One very specific example.
Here we go.
I was in reservist one day for a briefing session, okay? So one of those half-day callback thing, I was like, okay, sure, I can get the whole day off.
Okay.
Fuck it, let's go.
Okay.
So I sit down in the auditorium. I'm waiting for the guy to come up. This corporal comes up and says, okay, RSM, something is going to come up and explain it to you. This warrant officer walks in. most broken English in the world. Barely strings 4 English words together. You know, the Hokkien, right? Can't even, like, you can't understand him if you try to listen to his English. But the way he was moving and communicating, using tone, inflection, and the funny things he said, right, made the whole auditorium light up.
There was relatability, there was communication, the messaging gets through. I know all that.
And the next guy, like a fucking comic strip, right, walks up with a low voice, paced voice, perfect English.
And nobody gives a shit.
Nobody gave a shit.
Personality.
And that changed my
Was that what you? That's what you tried to drive at.
Yeah, that's what changed.
But just now, the whole slew of wonderful language that came out from your mouth, man. I mean,
hey, you say I can say what?
Tell me, you can. No, that's why I'm going with this. I'm going to say, Divian, did you feel fucking liberated just doing that behind a microphone?
Man, I don't want to stand up right now. Let me just put it this way. It's not the table legs that are supporting this table, okay? No. But to be honest, right, it is very liberating, and I think that, you know, all words taken equally mean different things in different contexts.
Of course, yes.
Right? Using language, flowery language like this makes me connect with my guy mates much easier than it does with my grandma. You know?
Of course. I mean, can you imagine speaking to your buddies? You know, the way you do on air. I mean, they give you go, what the fuck's wrong with you, man?
Tight slap. No chance.
Yeah, but I'm so glad you did what you did. I felt as if I gave you such a great opportunity to just drop the freaking baggage for a bit.
Man, it's true.
Yeah, that's what I do, man. I have that effect on people. Anyway, we've come to this bit now.
Yeah.
And you didn't really answer that question I asked. Okay,
Which one?
Personality, tonality. Is there anything else you want to add before I move on?
Personality, tonality. Oh, okay. So for the advice I would give
to a young person,
to a young person. Okay,
Yes.
Can I just sum it up?
Sure.
I will say that you have to be ready to be lucky.
Mm-hmm. Can you explain that?
I think that opportunities are all abound for each and every one of us.
Okay.
Where we all grow up honing different skills, different mechanisms, whether it be for defense or offense. And I think ultimately everyone has found a way to survive. Right? Mm-hmm. And if your interests are inclined towards the scope of radio, you already have a competitive edge.
Okay.
Right? Because I feel two people with equal talent can push to the finish line, but the one who is more interested will cross it.
Because there's passion.
Because there's passion. So the moment I think you have passion for radio, don't limit yourself to only thinking about, you know, maybe sitting in one chair, doing this on one mic. There are many different ways to do radio, whether behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, different type of content, whether it be news or CHR. Once you expand that scope of things, right, you will be ready to be lucky. When the opportunity falls, take it.
You know, that was advice for a young person aspiring to be a radio DJ with passion, right?
Yeah.
Shit, that's not for a 50-year-old guy.
Why not? Why not, man? Why not?
Nah. After how we've been dissing all the broadcasters, come on.
No. It's
no
good content,
freaking way, man. That guy's gonna come and screw everything up. And Glenn will say, Chris, you won't last 2 weeks.
That's true. If you are, you know, very independent, you might have a difficult time in a corporate structure.
I'm having a great time in this show, man. I can tell you
That's
that
awesome.
much, man. Yeah, I'm having a great time. Now we come to this part of the program. It's a very simple format. It's called the quick fire segment. I'm going to ask you quick questions. You're very lucky. The producers just gave me this few, so little. I mean, why are we screwing this guy over?
You know, I tell you,
man?
this is my weakness, by the way, Chris. Quick fire questions.
No shit.
I cannot help but think about shit. I cannot. So I will be slow. I promise you. Like,
but you know, this is
struggle with this.
This is like freaking primary school stuff, man. I mean, it's like, why didn't they give you harder questions?
What is it, like coffee or tea kind of questions?
Something like that.
Okay.
And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing this? Okay,
Let's go.
I'm just gonna wing this.
Okay.
Here we go. Quick fire, yeah.
Try.
This first question cannot be yours, huh? You understand when I come to it? It cannot be yours.
Okay.
Favorite radio show?
Oh. You know what? I'll say it is the Muttons.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, man. I'll say it's the Muttons because I still, you know, for whatever disagreement that we had, blah, 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 I'll say that they groomed me They were my mentors, so I really understand how they work, why they do it, and why there is a magic to it. Why they can do it so consistently. Even if it is polarizing and not everybody likes it, I still appreciate that there is some genius.
I disagree. So Vernon A and Justin, if you guys want to diss me about this shit, you can do it on the radio or you can come on my show and let's do it. Yep.
Okay.
But okay, respect.
Yeah.
This is your opinion and that's what you feel.
Yeah.
Next question.
Okay.
Favorite color?
Wow.
So hot. Man.
Emerald green.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Old school Ape Jaguar kind of green, you know? Forest green, you know? My car is literally that color right now. The guy asked me, are you sure or not? How old are you?
You've been the kind of old Daimler kind of green, the Boston green.
Exactly that.
The one you see in the countryside of England, in Essex and all that shit.
Exactly that.
That one.
That one.
Dude, you're really an old soul.
I don't know why.
My goodness, no wonder the white hair are coming out.
Yeah.
Next question. What's your favorite 90s TV show?
Friends.
Wow, that one damn fast.
Yeah, that one damn fast.
Tell you watch reruns, you can never get sick of it, yeah?
There's a magic to it, right? There's no other comedy sitcom format that's even come close to breaching that kind of loyalty that people have with that show.
And my wife says I'm like Ross.
What?
Like a freaking compliment that is, yeah? Oh, you know, babe, you're like Ross. Oh,
Really?
fuck, really? Yeah, really. Jeez. Now you know how I'm like out at home. Huh?
Okay, there you go. It's a window, yeah.
Yeah, it's a window to look into.
Yeah.
Here's the next question. Oh, this one I think you're going to get stumped at.
Okay, okay.
If you could teleport to anywhere in time or in the world, where would you go?
Okay, I would go to Austria, Mirabel. It was Christmas in 2013.
Wow.
Yeah, very
Christmas in
specific.
Austria.
Yeah.
How was it?
I'm not Christian. I'm not religious.
Okay, but how
You know.
was that? Doesn't matter. You can still celebrate Christmas without being
No,
Christian.
exactly.
Yeah.
It was, walking on cobblestone street in the early evening.
Oh.
I am with my family. I'm holding mulled wine.
Yeah.
Right? Walking through the cold. There's the Christmas market in front of me. It's lined up. And we're walking to Mozart's church. Okay. So Carol's singing all the way through. We stopped by the Christmas shops. I see my dad and my mom holding hands. I'd live there forever.
You know something? So funny. You know, when you said all that, you know, you the imagery was so amazing. I was brought there. But then again, I had almost the same experience not long ago.
Really?
Last Christmas, we were in Norway and Denmark.
Yeah.
And I tell you, man, the Christmas markets,
Yeah.
the glögg, which is the mulled wine.
Oh, there's something to that.
Oh, there's something
There's
about
something
it's
about
something about being in Europe for Christmas, isn't it? Huh?
There is.
Yeah,
It's a magic thing.
Magical, man.
Yeah, and then
I
Alps
know.
at the end of the street.
Oh,
It's nuts. It's just stupid. It's really stupid.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, man.
And you know, it makes me feel so much regret that this year no one can travel because I wish to God I can go again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it makes us appreciate it,
It does.
so much. Yeah.
It does. If you had one wish, what would it be?
Wow. This one is not a quick fire question.
You know, wait, you mean you have no one wish?
No,
that
my
you ever
first
want?
answer is I wish I had an infinite number of wishes.
Oh,
That would be the,
the
lame
number
quick fire.
the number one greatest wish that you'd like to have. What would it be? What would that be?
The number one
Yeah, the greatest wish.
greatest wish.
Yeah.
Wow.
So many, greedy fellow you. Hello. Even a genie will give you 3. Okay?
I wish that my parents have the luxury to regret nothing before they go.
You're a good man.
That would be my one wish.
You're a good man.
They at
brother.
least deserve that.
You're a good man, brother. Really. Really. I admire that.
Yeah.
2 more questions. Just 2
Let's go. Yeah.
Wow, this one. Later I'll tell you a story behind this one.
Okay.
Which secondary school were you from?
Catholic high.
Okay.
Yeah. 公交中学里行走 da, 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 da.
我们是新加坡公民，虽然部分种族因以宗教团结一致。
应有的美德。
Wow, I tell you, you're not bad, Wow. You know why? Because it's weird, man. Weird, so weird. All the guys, anyway, the guys who've been on my show, all my Kopi kakis, they're either from SGI or ACS.
Right.
All right? And then we have one RI boy.
Yeah.
And then we've got one St. Pat's boy, which is Glenn.
Okay, there you go, yeah.
And that's about the size of it. I mean, like, what the hell happened to everyone else? So we know the people in the media, especially mostly from
Boys'
these schools.
It's strange,
you're the
right?
first one from Catholic High.
Yeah,
man.
first one. Short shorts all the
Finally,
way.
you
4
broke
years.
the jinx.
Leg hair in the wind, you know, Sec 4. Man.
Okay, last question.
Let's go.
Favorite sport?
Favorite sport would have to be swimming.
Wow.
Yeah, swimming. I swam competitively for a while when I was very young.
Okay.
And then I got stupid, started skateboarding, broke all my bones, and then stopped competing. But I still enjoy it a lot. Yeah.
Do you watch the English Premier League?
No, I actually don't.
What is wrong with you, man?
I missed that boat. Somehow I ended up with my Abing friends, back in Woodlands when I was living there, and they were all about the NBA. So I took that straight.
What's wrong with this guy? I would have thought for the.
I know.
I would have imagined Divian Nair would be watching the EPL, would be a supporter of one of those big football clubs. I'm not.
I actually don't know anything about football.
You're shitting me.
Yeah, bruh.
Okay, can I just get a life, dude?
People have been telling me that for like.
You put your time
15 years.
You put your schedule in a box, right? You compartmentalize your schedule, right? Can you put freaking English football in there?
I spend all my time now playing guitar.
Oh, you play the guitar?
I play the guitar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what do you play? Rhythm or lead?
No, I play both rhythm and lead, electric guitar.
So have you ever played and performed with the guitar?
It's actually a very private hobby.
Yeah. Was it one of those things
one
you do?
One of those noodle in the bedroom until Shok spend too much money, can I slept with the wife?
You see how stereotypical this is.
Yeah.
If a guy has a hobby and he plays the damn guitar, it's always in the room. But if you're a singer and it's a damn hobby, it's always in a damn toilet. I just don't get it, man.
It's the cool factor, right?
Yeah, the guitar players are always, you're so cool. You're in your room, you're strumming away.
Yeah.
And guys like me, you're in a toilet singing, right?
Chris, you show me one toilet there, I can put my amp in my guitar, right? I tell you, I'll be playing the guitar, shitting bricks all day, man.
I'm in a toilet. There we go. Yeah. But anyway, it's been a great time having you with on the show.
Man, I had fun.
Yeah, I had great fun, man.
Yeah.
I just want to say this to you, Divian Nair, you're a good man.
Thank you, sir.
You're a good man,
Thank you,
and
Chris.
real old soul, man.
Thank you.
An old soul. I love it.
Thank you,
Great guy, this guy. And that is Divian Nair, by the way. Again, in case you just tuned in. So if you just did tune in, please rewind all the way to the beginning of the show.
How long was that? Wow, that time just flew, huh?
Yep. Time flies when we're having freaking fun, right?
Wow.
Better than a 4-hour shift in the morning. Okay.
Just had to slide that in.
I just had to. You've been watching KWC, Kopi with Chris. I'm about losing my train of thought, man. What's wrong? You have that impact on me. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure you catch us again. And if you want to be a radio DJ, think about being a podcaster first. Stay safe, people. See you next time. Bye-bye.